Hi, hello, as my dad would say, come on, sit down, walk around, let's have a chat. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, I'm Mend, this is Jackie Detona. So grab your favourite drink and snack and let's sit down. So, heaven in a cup, that's all I'm saying. February, it's February, and I'm doing a monthly wrap up. I haven't done one of these in like the longest of times. It's more like a January musings and kind of what I got up to and what I thought about it and reflecting on the month just gone by because it has been a month. I know a lot of people are going to say it was like the longest month ever. I feel like it flew. It just went like that. How was your January? Let me know. January definitely has been a month of slow approach and a reflective, a lot of introspection being done, I found this month for myself personally. Anyway, as most of you have probably seen, oh my gosh, throat chakra, hello, that this Monday just gone, I did a video on how there's new changes or new things on the horizon for my channel here. And I've been wanting to shake things up a little bit. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to partake in like VRs or tags or walkthroughs or anything like that. It's literally me just saying that there just might be less of it. Sometimes I overthink how I articulate things. And then I'm like, oh, did I even explain that right? Or did that even make sense? Or did that come across? And I want to get rid of that kind of mindset of over explaining myself. And sometimes, yeah, you have to try to explain in like intricate and as detailed as possible, but that's not always the case, and it's not always possible. So I'm hoping that you understand that it's not that I'm not taking part in VRs, because I actually have a couple of videos I would like to do, not many. And there's also a fabulous tag. What is going on? That Candy has done as well that I want to take part in. So that's kind of just a heads up as to like what's coming in February. And as most of you know, I kind of will go back to 2 videos a week. So I'm probably just going to upload on Tuesdays and Saturdays because I want to get out of my comfort zone and I want to start doing live videos. I want to interact like live with you guys as well. And that'd be just so cool. So I need to work out that because I know I have a lot of you that follow me in the US and time differences. And I want to make sure that it's as close to kind of matching time wise, that it's not too early for you, not too late for me, and vice versa. So that's kind of been my approach to January. I also got sick with a really bad stomach bug as well in January, and that threw me so bad because most of you know if you've been sick that it's not fun. And while I will preach to the choir about resting and taking time for yourself and how it's important and that your body will tell you when it needs to rest, I am the worst person for taking my own advice. I will hold my hands up here and I will hold myself accountable for that. So I had no choice but to rest because I was literally thrown in bed, just so sick. It's the sickest I've ever been in quite some time. I know I got like a really bad flu last year just before Christmas, but this was just like, as in, I was stuck to the bed. I had no choice but to rest and, allowing myself the grace to heal and take my time. And that's another way that I was approaching January, is to give myself grace that you don't always have to constantly show up, because I know there's that whole stigma of we have to push through January and we have to grind and set all the goals. And I just feel like collectively, not even just myself, that everybody's so over that. We're so over trying to keep up with the rat race or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't really matter. They were just not here for that fast-paced life, because it was something that I really leaned into as well this January, that I realized that I'm very much a seasonal being. I'm very much in tune with the different seasons and how, we go in a cycle. We live the year. However you want to approach this, I just kind of use the terms that fit me and my practice and things like that. So I definitely noticed that I was leaning very much into that winter aspect. I find February is very much winter, and it's also my birthday month, which is very exciting. And I'm definitely leaning into the coming spring. So it's like the start, like a little sprinkling of spring, but it's like the start of it. And so January was definitely not without its challenges, but it was definitely an easier January that I've had in a very long time. And I feel like maybe most people might feel like that. But there's a few bits that I want to talk about. There's 2 deck pairings that I worked with from my video of Pick My Decks With Me for January. I might do that for February. That's kind of fun. And some books that I want to talk about. There's not many. And journaling. And then again, like that, some channels that I've been loving. And what else? I can't even think. I have all these great ideas in my head, and then I sit down and I hit record, and it's like, poof, they don't even exist anymore. But so I'll try and put timestamps, so at least if you want to skip ahead or flick back and forth, that's totally fine as well. I definitely been loving this month. We'll talk about some channels if I can remember everybody's channel's name. I do apologize if I get your channel name wrong. That Rachele over at Amethyst Ascension did a fab tarot tag on a new tarot tag, obviously, and it was a Tarottube 2026, and I've been loving seeing the responses and everybody's approach to the questions and even the spreads. And I just realized I need to do the spread on the other one. Oh my god. So there's just been that great sense of community, and how everybody kind of took their own different approach, but everybody was in agreement, that kind of a way. So even if you didn't agree, you still agreed. Am I making sense? There was a respect towards each answer, is what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say. And it was just really fun, and I definitely found myself going, oh yeah, I never thought of it that way, or I should have answered that way. And that's the beauty of it. It's just seeing everybody's approach to it. So that's really fun. I've been enjoying a lot of Rachele's videos as well. I'm trying to think who else is next. Celina over at Essence of the Moon. I've been really enjoying her videos. She's had some great lives, and again, I'm trying to catch up on all of those as well. And Candy, I'm loving Candy's videos as well. They've been so much fun. She's like a fab tag as well. Is it called the hashtag spilled milk? So I definitely want to take part in that. And I love how she was talking about the Morrigan and Bridget and stuff. It was just, the way she articulates things is just amazing. I love it. And I'm trying to think who else. I've been watching quite a few channels. Okay, I knew there was channels that I was missing, so I have my tablet here because I want to make sure that I'm getting the names right. It is Lennan Smith. I hope I pronounced your name right, Lennan. Adored her Tarottube chat, and I've been watching, catching up on a lot of her videos that I hadn't seen. And then Lennox Reese, again, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Lennox covered like fabulous videos on Oracle decks, which if you're new here and you don't know, my first love will always be Oracle decks. Love them so much. Like, they're just, I really do love Oracle decks, and I feel like they don't get as much love maybe in the Tarottube sphere, although that seems to be changing a bit, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, she's done some great videos that have given me ideas that I want to do videos. So I love that with watching different channels, is that you're learning as well as and getting inspired from each other. So it's not that I'm like stealing anybody's ideas. I'll always tell you where I got my inspiration from, but it's just how we inspire each other. There's something so beautiful. And I know there's another one as well. Star is the Wild Witch. It's another fabulous channel. Oh my God, she's just so nice and covers all these like witchy goodness. I'm trying to find. Oh, and Lady Cara Taro. Oh my God. I just love her videos. She's such a hoot. Honestly, such a laugh. Absolutely. Absolutely love watching her videos. Oh, Star, I can't find your channel, but I would definitely tag it below. And I love all the witchy goodness in them videos as well. So they're the channels. Hoping I remember to write all of these down, which I will after this video. And moving then into January, like I said, I've definitely been catching up with a lot of content and trying to get ideas moving forward and whatnot, and removing the pressure. Like I said, there's a lot of things. I definitely, like one of the beautiful souls pointed out, that my spiritual path has definitely taken a different turn and it seems to be deepening. And I do agree. I have found myself very much, and this is moving into books actually, it's blending so beautifully together, that I am leaning very much into my Irish heritage, ancestral side of my very mixed lineage, which is a combination of many different cultures and whatnot. And that is the beauty of having like a Dutch mom and an Indonesian grandmother, or Oma as I call her, and then an Irish dad. So you've a lovely, beautiful blend of different ancestors. But the book that I have been thoroughly enjoying, and I'm still thoroughly enjoying and taking my time working through, is Old Ways, Old Secrets. It's Pagan Ireland and it's by Joe Kerrigan. And it is myth, landscape, and tradition. Okay, I don't know. Can you see that? I have it tabbed. I've written in it. Well, not written in it. I wrote on sticky notes because, or did I write in the book? I could have. I will definitely, like, I have underlined. That's it. I have underlined sections. You guys can't see it because I did it in pencil. Can you see it? Oh my goodness. I don't even know if you can see it, but I hope you can. I've been enjoying learning about the different traditions that I feel like have been lost to a lot of families here in Ireland. Obviously, as we evolve and change and grow, these traditions kind of stop being passed down, because I feel like as we go on through generations, there's just not that interest anymore, because technology and social media, and there's pros and cons towards, social media, and I feel like we can really use it for good, as in we can teach the traditions and whatnot to like even a wider audience, that's not just stuck to one community. Now, I know there's some aspects of traditions or beliefs or practices that are more kind of close and tight-knit, and that's totally fine. I can totally honor and respect that. But these are things that I would have heard to some extent growing up. So from like the Banshee, even the folklore of Ireland, I wouldn't know a whole pile, which is an absolute shame. I really shouldn't be admitting that, but I'll admit it anyway. And just learning about that. So learning about, and they're all snippets, right? So it's all kind of condensed down. You can do a bit more research. But Joe also covers Stories from the Sea, Brehon Laws, and Follow the Old Road. So I think the next one I'd love to get is the Brehon Laws, because that was super interesting. I read kind of a little bit about it in Bulmur's Almanac. So that's the Irish Almanac here, which is super cool. I'm still working my way through it. It's only a tiny little magazine, but anyway. But I loved reading about the Banshee, the Tua de Danann, Bridget, the Caliac, is that how you pronounce it? And then just different aspects and beliefs that have been passed down, and ancient stone circles, and what else? There's so much in it. I'm only like 100 pages, I think, into this. Yeah, 100 pages, and it's just chocked full with goodness. So as you can see, there's kind of a pagan aspect being rooted back into my spiritual practice, and I want to lean into it and I want to explore it. And I love the way that I'm actually allowing myself to explore and share it here with you guys, and how supportive you've been. It's phenomenal. So that is my nonfiction book that I'm still trying to work through. I'm hoping to have it finished in another week or two. I don't want to rush through it because I like to retain the information. I like to take my time. The next book is a fiction one, and oh my gosh, this was such a slow burn to get into. When I got into it, oh my gosh, the Hurricane Wars. I only have a teeny tiny section, so I'm hoping by the time that I've uploaded this that I've actually finished it. So I'm hoping to finish it today, the day that I'm recording. And I'm not going to butcher the name, but here it is. Now, a funny story with this book is I actually accidentally picked up the second one, so that my mom so kindly picked up the first one for me when she was out and about. I was like, please, if you see this, can you pick it up? Because I couldn't find it local enough to me. So it is one lone light will stand against an empire, light wars against darkness. And oh my gosh, is this a very, very slow burn? Yes. Is it enemies to lovers? Yeah, it ticks all the boxes there. Now, I had to Google a few bits because it is based around Asian mythology. I want to say, is it Philippines? I'm not 100% sure, so please don't quote me on that. But I love the light and shadow aspect of this. And now, I will admit, the start overwhelmed me because there is so much world building thrown at you, the magic system and the different, because apparently it started off as a Star Wars fan fiction. Now, I'm not a Star Wars fan. No offense to anybody that is, just not my cup of tea or coffee, because I drink coffee. Wouldn't be my drink of choice. And then it kind of just evolved into its own thing. So I do think there's probably like aspects of Star Wars that maybe fans might get. I don't really understand it. It is a little bit on the sci-fi side of things, which again wouldn't be my drink of choice, but I'm actually really enjoying it because sometimes it's good to explore outside what we're usually familiar with or what we like. The writing in it is dainty enough. Can we say that? It's dainty enough. I found it just took so many chapters to get into it. That is my only gripe with it. Now that I'm into it, I'm like devouring pages. But it just took a little bit too much, and my brain was so overwhelmed at the start of it. Now, I don't know, is it because of the time of the year I started it? I don't know. But I'm really loving the whole like shadow and light aspect and enemies to lovers. It is a real, what is it, romantasy. As far as spice, it's not bad. It isn't actually bad at all. So I am enjoying that. So hopefully by the time that this goes up, I've actually finished it. And then I'm hoping to get on to the second one, which you'll see now why I actually picked this up. How beautiful is that? It's called A Monsoon Rising. And the sprayed edges, no, I couldn't care less for sprayed edges, to be brutally honest, because it's a bit like gilding. You have to try and crack them to get into it. I loved it. So we're basically following two characters called Alaric and Taliesin. There's a whole thing. It's like wars and then forced marriages or arranged marriages, and just, well, I suppose you could call it forced marriage as well. There's just a lot to it. There's a lot to it, and I'm really enjoying it now, but I do want to give fair warning that it takes a minute to get into. It really does. So if you've read it, let me know. There's hints of dragons in this as well. My little 14 heart was just having the best time, and then the dragons were gone off the page. I was like, bring back the dragons. I love that. But the book isn't about dragons. It's about Alaric and, I'm hoping I pronounced that, and Taliesin. Now, on to things that I'm just having the best time with. Honestly, the best time. So, you might not know, I adore gaming. I love gaming. I remember as a kid, like, I would just, get lost in a game for hours. The Sims 2, don't even talk to me. I don't even want to know how many hours I clocked up in it. I think it's one of these games that I've clocked up the most hours. That and Animal Crossing Wild World. The new Animal Crossing, not so much, is it New Leaf? Do you know what? New Horizons. I don't even know the name of it. I love it. I just don't love it as much as I thought I would. I'm still loving Dreamlight Valley, but I feel like I've kind of, last year was so mental. I didn't get to play my Switch as much as I had hoped I would. And then what happens is you kind of lose track of the games, and then there's so many updates and so many things that you just get overwhelmed. And I'm just not bothered. So at Christmas, my wonderful other half, Jamie, got me Hello Kitty Island Adventure. This is the deluxe edition. It's you got like extra items and things like that in this. I'm having the best time with this game. Oh my goodness. I don't know how many of you have this for the Switch. It's the Switch 1 I have, or the Switch Lite. I don't know. I'm kind of out of touch when it comes to gaming systems like that. I know the Switch 2 came out, but I can't justify that price. And my little Switch is working absolutely fine. I have this thing, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I have no desire to keep up with trends when it comes to devices like that. But it's just been really feeding my soul and filling my cup, and like, I'm just having the best time in the evening sitting down playing it, and just, yeah, okay, let's try this again because I felt like I was just way too loud. But these are the journals that I've been really diving into in January. So the first one is my brain dump journal. So basically, whatever's in my brain gets dumped in here. There's nothing aesthetically pleasing. The journal is very cute. I love the journal, but there's nothing really pretty about the inside. It is literally just a brain dump. Whatever's in my mind goes into this. I try and do this in the morning, so I suppose a lot of people will call this morning pages. You can call it whatever you want. I literally call it my brain dump because I really want to approach the whole quiet mind, calm mind, empty brain, calm mind. My head can get very loud and noisy with all thoughts and whatnot, and I need to get it out. Sometimes I overthink things. I need to get it out. I don't need it sitting in my mind taking up space. It is allowed to be just dumped on a page, and I'll let this hold it. I don't need to hold it. And that's my intention with this journal, is that it just, here, you have it, you take it. I don't want it in my brain anymore. That's how I approach this one. Again, there's nothing very aesthetically pleasing about it. The next one is my traveler's style notebook. It's not a traveler's notebook, but I seen this in TK Maxx. You knew I had to pick it up. I added my own little charms, so this is my little Hello Kitty. So adorable. And then an elephant. I might change the string on it. I'll see. So inside, of course, I had to do it up myself. I will talk about this one in a second, but I'll talk about this journal. So there are pockets. It's really cool. I'm really enjoying it. You don't need me to go through it. But I got this in a fortune cookie, so I had to keep it. Of course I did. Like a nice little reminder. I like to think I'm a positive influence here. Then I have like little stickers. This money that we found. We were clearing out bits. So I kept that in there. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but it can stay there. And then I have these two cards as well, which this is the kind of inside card of the Book of Shadows. And then I also have a deck called the Celtic Magic, and I wasn't sure how I was going to use it. And then what I was doing was pulling a card a week and keeping it in this journal. So I pulled the Morrigan, but I need to update this. But I wanted to keep it here as well because I've seen so many of you talking about the Morrigan, which is the goddess of war. And again, I'm loving seeing the different Celtic pagan ways popping up. So, and the deities, I'm loving that. So I want to leave that. So then I have my daily cards journal, and it's kind of a bit small for daily cards, but I'm loving it all the same. Sometimes I get super creative on the page, sometimes I don't. It depends on the day, really. Then I have my IDs, so this is like for my content, right? So YouTube videos, posts, things like that. I jot them down because I get the most random thoughts at the most random times and I need to jot it down. I'm not one for reaching for my phone. I won't remember it. And then I have this is a sketch. This one came in it. I don't use it. I'm not sure what I want to use it for. We will see. And then I also have this one, which I need to decorate the front and stuff. I don't particularly like the front of these, but this is where I do all my tarot challenges. Why do I find that so difficult to say? So like Lionhearts always does great challenges on Instagram, so that's where I jot all those down. Now, let's get into the decks. Let's not get into decks because I forgot to mention this, because I know some of you like, meant the purple notebook. Hello. Yes, it's my little traveling grimoire. So I pretty much made this. I stitched it up. It's just like a signature with so many pages and scrap paper in it. And I made like a little pocket. I like to make things a bit intricate and tricky for myself. Is it necessary? No, absolutely not. But I like to. So like anything, so I suppose you could call it commonplace. I don't want to. I want to call it my little on-the-go grimoire. And so I found this bloom scrolling meaning on Instagram and I really liked it. It's a joyful way of using social media, intentionally scrolling for inspiration/inspiring, uplifting and positive content that nourishes your mind and mood. And I know I also have like intentions that are mine, so I'm not going to share those. And then I also have these pieces of paper. I want to make this into a pocket, and then as you can see, like I literally just added scrap pieces of paper, and I want to make it like, I suppose what some might call like a junk journal, but in a grimoire magic musings type way. I don't think there's any particular order in the way that I worked with these, as far as I know. I believe I worked with these first. And this is the Solitary Witch Oracle with the Book of Shadows Tarot. And I'm trying to think, did I do a video on this? Maybe not. Maybe it was the other pairing. I can't remember, guys. I really can't remember, to be brutally honest. I really enjoyed this pairing. I'll zoom you guys in a bit. I really, really enjoyed these two together. I'm pretty sure I wrote down a review on what I actually thought of these. Where's my notebook on it, you might ask? I don't know. But I like the way these two complemented each other. The guidebook has a lot of details in this. I do apologize about my hands. I actually ended up burning when I was baking. And cat. My hands are awful dry. So no need to be concerned. Everything is fine. I just... the one thing that I used for the camera, and she's all banged up and cut and bruised. But I promise you, everything is fine. It's just... this one looks way worse on camera. I'm looking at it here. Anyway. Yes, so everything's fine. So I'm trying to do it in a way that it's not too much of an eyesore for you. But I really enjoyed these two together. They were just like a celestial witch combination. And I love the guidebook and the Solitary Witch. The guidebook in the Book of Shadows is really dainty. It's very small. It's a little white book. But you know what? It actually worked absolutely fine. They both complemented each other very, very well. Art style wise, not really. But I have to say, I really do like the way they were more thought-provoking. I wouldn't say it was a very grounding combination, but I really liked the way they paired. And even the little intuitive hits. It was very minor with this one. I will say I didn't get as much intuitive hits, but that's okay. Because again, we're giving ourselves grace. Okay, so the next pair is the Wildwood Tarot, just to show you, and the Celtic Spirit Oracle, which is this one here. So for anybody that might want to take a screenshot, I hope I didn't do that too quick. if that's ever the case, feel free to just let me know in the comments below. That's never any hassle. Can we see the deep dive into... Oh, I won't say deep dive, that's a bit dramatic, because the other side of it is once I started working with this, I actually ended up getting sick in the midst of working with this pairing. But I've worked with this pairing before, so my thoughts were never going to really change on it. I just kind of wanted to come back to center, come back to my roots. And as you can see, there's a lot of that pagan fae energy. I know a lot of you really want a fae video. I would more than likely actually try and do one this month, because I feel like it'd be fun to just kind of change it up and not always go with theme-based stuff, right? But as you can see, these are very much of that pagan fae energy, and as you know from the book that I'm reading, I'm definitely diving into that aspect of my heritage. And Ireland was very much pagan before, you know, Christianity came knocking on the door and kind of kicked that out. So, but there's still those hints and whatnot. I will touch upon it in another video. But for now, we're just going to talk about these decks. But I love the combination it is. This is a very straightforward deck. There's no BS with it. It is what it is. I find the energy... Oh, excuse me. I find the energy of this very airy and grounded. That's the only way I could describe it. But then it balances, the wildwood balances it out, so it's not too in your face, if that makes sense. They complement each other and they balance each other in that groundedness. So there is that hint of like air energy, but it's rooted, so it's not so in your face either. But I definitely found that this was kind of more calling back my heritage and my link and my roots here in Ireland. So I find that super interesting, but it's something I want to explore again further down the line. But for now, I'm actually working with the Seasons of the Witch, Winter Tarot and Imbolc Oracle, but I'll probably just talk about that in February. So I'll do one more and I will leave it at that. I really do like these pairings. Like, Mischief, Freedom, and Reckless. That always kind of reminds me of, you know, the Salmon of Knowledge. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening about my January. I hope you had a wonderful January, and if not, I hope February is much better for you. And as always, don't forget to hit the subscribe. I would love to have you part of the family here. We're pretty awesome, if I do say so myself. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And remember, stay magical, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.